Microphone check, test. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and we live and direct. Yeah, back at it again. I'm Corbin Wilson, aka Miles 1000, certified financial trainer who helps six-figure working professionals stop living paycheck to paycheck, build five-figure savings reserves, crush debt, and transform into an excellent steward of money. Now, I tend to say a steward of money, that's someone who is diligent, responsible, trustworthy, and efficient with managing their money. And so I want to give you a starting point, a launch pad, just an actionable next step you can utilize today to get your financial house in order if it's disorganized and help you on the pathway to becoming a good steward of money. And so the very first step to escaping the paycheck to paycheck cycle and building a five-figure savings reserve and crushing your debt is to clearly identify your expenses. Right? Like, boom, mind-blowing, right? Life-changing stuff, right? But not really. It's really that simple. All you have to do starting out is list out your expenses, identify those expenses' monthly cost, and then know when each expense is going to be due every single month. And so just how this document shows on the screen, here's the order of operations to start identifying your current expenses. And so this is a fillable PDF. You can download this. It's for free. Check out the link in the description so you can get it. But the first section that you'll work through is your fixed expenses. And so for anyone who's unaware, fixed expenses, these are items in your budget that stay the same in price month after month. The dollar amounts on these expenses, they never change. And so all you have to do right now is list out the name of the expense, how much the expense is costing you every single month, and the date it's due every single month. And so you can see I've listed out 5 expenses that's just for you to reference. And so for instance, we have the mortgage expense, and that's costing $2,088 per month. And you can see it's due on the first of every single month. And so what you want to do is list out all of your fixed expenses, just how we have it here. Let's get that list in detail. The next section is to list out your variable expenses. And now for anyone who's unaware about these, variable expenses, these are items in your budget that don't have a set monthly price. So the amounts are going to fluctuate month over month. And so you can see I have some examples. So there's gas for your vehicle, groceries, restaurants, pet food, date night, and then personal allowance. These seem to be the common variable expenses I see people put money towards. And you're going to notice with the variable expenses, I am not asking you to list out the due dates. I'm not asking you to list out the dollar amounts. And that's for a reason, because number one, variable expenses, they do not have set due dates. Much like your phone bill or your mortgage that's due at a certain time of the month, variable expenses do not have that, right? And then secondly, the amounts for variables, they fluctuate. So how much you pay for groceries one month may be completely different than what you do the next month, okay? Next section to work through is identify all your annual expenses. And so for anyone who's unaware about these, annual expenses are items in your budget that only come once per year. And so you can see I gave the examples of vehicle registration, membership renewals, subscription renewals, and insurance renewals. And so just for instance, vehicle registration, that costs $140 annually, and that's due October 16, 2023. So what are all of your annual expenses that you're paying for every single year? List those out. And the last section, I want you to forward think for me. So think about any upcoming events that you have planned for this year. Think about any upcoming holidays that you plan to celebrate this year. And I want you to think through, what amount of money would you like to have for that occasion? And then also, what is the date of that event as well? And so this is going to be really important because we want to treat your events or your holiday plans like a monthly bill. So the same way you pay your mortgage or your auto insurance every single month is the same way we want to pay for your events and your holiday plans. And I say this often, but incremental savings create big impacts when you start early. In this saying, it looks exactly like this. So let's take Christmas, for example. And we have a goal of $1,200 needed by December 10th. And now the average person who's living paycheck to paycheck most likely does not have the liquid cash available to cash flow $1,200 all at one lump sum to pay for a holiday expense. If they do that, they're going to run the risk of their rent being late or the utilities being shut off or their auto payments being late, right? Something may suffer somewhere financially. And then they may have to lean on some form of debt to get themselves out of a shortfall. And so the alternative is, if we want $1,200 cash flow for Christmas shopping, then we need to treat that $1,200 target like a monthly bill, right? The same way you pay your rent, the same way you pay your phone bill is the same way we're going to save for Christmas. And so let's assume that you begin in January and you have till December to reach a $1,200 target. And so this means there's 12 months to hit that goal. So $1,200 divided by 12 months, that equals $100 a month. If you can set aside just $100 a month, some of you get paid bi-weekly. So if you can set aside $50 every 2 weeks in a dedicated Christmas fund, then you're going to have Christmas money, which then you can spend guilt-free come December 10th. You'll have that $1,200. And now you won't need to rely on credit cards. But here's the thing. If you decide to use credit cards, that's fine. All right, because you'll have $1,200 stashed away, which will be on standby and waiting and ready to pay off that credit card statement balance in full. And so this means you're not bringing any new debt into the new year. We can cut that cycle. That is no more. We're not carrying old debt into brand new years. So I really want you to take your time to uncover all your fixed, all your variable, all your annual, and all your holiday expenses. This step right here is the first step towards good stewardship of money. As elementary as this may seem, it truly is, because once we know what you have to pay for, how much it costs, and when it's exactly due, then we'll be able to strategize your dollars efficiently and effectively. We'll be able to implement a strategy based on your expenses and how they align with your income, okay? So you can do this. A little bit of sweat equity is going to be needed, but let's make 2023 a year of good stewardship. I look forward to serving y'all and talking to you again soon. Happy budgeting.
For more information on Corbin Wilson and Miles Thousand at gmail.com. Doing great things in the city of Sacramento and around the country.